everyone, welcome back to Vikas Biology. Okay, so in previous video, that is about the class 11, so we discussed about the classification of the kingdom Plantae, isn't it? And also some of the characters, the general characters of algae. So you know that kingdom Plantae is broadly classified into two categories like Cryptogamy and Phanerogams. Cryptogams are spore-bearing plants, they do not bear the seeds, and whereas the Phanerogams are the seed-bearing plants. Again, Cryptogams are further classified into Thallophyta, Bryophyta and Pteridophyta. Okay, so whereas Thallophyta, that includes algae and fungi. So whereas the bryophytes and the pteridophytes, so where there is a formation of embryo, whereas in Thallophyta there is no formation of embryo is seen. It means after the formation of zygote, there is no formation of embryo, that is in Thallophyta. So whereas on the other hand, the Phanerogams, they were further classified into gymnosperms and angiosperms, that is based on the nature of the seed they possess. It means if the seed is covered by the fruit wall, they are considered as angiosperms. And whereas in other forms where the seed is naked, so such forms are said to be gymnosperms. Okay, so this is about the classification of the kingdom Plantae proposed by Eichler, isn't it? So and also we discussed some concepts about the general features of algae, isn't it? So that is about, I think we discussed about the occurrence of algae. So where is occurrence of algae? So like the normal aquatic forms like freshwater forms and marine water forms, and terrestrial algae, and also about some unusual habitats of algae. Okay, so like halophytic algae, epiphytic algae, parasitic algae, endozoic algae, and epizoic algae. So likewise we discussed some concepts like cryophytes also, means the algae which are found in the snow, okay, or on the ice. Okay, so in this video I am going to talk about the continuation of the same topic, that is about the general characters of algae. Okay, so where here we will discuss about the thallus organization in algae, the thallus, nature of thallus in algae. You know what is thallus? Where a thallus is an undifferentiated plant body. Okay, so how thallus is organized in algae? Okay, see, there are various kinds of nature of thallus that can be seen in algae, various organization levels of thallus that can be seen in algae. Okay, so the algae, they may be unicellular. You know what is thallus? Thallus is nothing but here the plant body of algae. So where it is not differentiated into root, stem or leaf, that is what is called as a thallus. Okay, so there are various forms can be seen in thallus like unicellular forms. Unicellular forms. Okay, so then colonial forms, then filamentous forms, colonial, then filamentous, okay, then siphonaceous forms, okay, so then parenchymatous thallus. Okay, so the thallus is of various kind or differently organized in algae. So where some of the algae are unicellular, some are colonial, some are filamentous, and some algae are siphonaceous, and some of them are parenchymatous in nature. It means the nature of the plant body. I am talking about the nature of the plant body, how it will be. Okay, see, you know that unicellular forms where cells are occur singly, means independent and individual cells are present. So only single cell that represents an entire organism in case of unicellular forms. Okay, so whereas in colonial forms where cells aggregate together, it means many cells like unicells which aggregate together, they are forming a colony. So here the cells are working in an independent manner. Okay, not that much of coordination is seen like in multicellular forms, but the cells are working independently, but they are aggregated together forming a colony. It may be permanent or it may be temporary. It means the colonial organization may be permanent colony or they may be temporary colonies that can be also seen. So then whereas in filamentous forms, so what happens in filamentous forms, I will explain in detail later. Okay, what happens in filamentous forms, the repeated transverse division of the cell, that leads to the formation of a filament. Andre cell enaಗುತ್ತೆ transverse division agi like this. Suppose if this is a cell, it goes on dividing like this. It goes on divides and it forms a filamentous forms. The repeated transverse divisions that leads to the formation of a filamentous form. So then siphonaceous forms where the divisions of the nuclei it do not followed by the formation of cell wall or the cross wall. It means only the nuclei will divide but not followed by the formation of the cross wall. Hence free nuclear condition can be seen, just like you studied about xenocytic hyphae, you know. So where the fungal mycelium, it is not, that consists of the many number of nuclei but not consists of septa. Such hyphae are said to be xenocytic hyphae. So where free nuclear condition can be seen. Similarly here also in siphonaceous form, free nuclear condition is seen. There is no formation of cross wall or the cell wall between the nuclei. It means not independent cells are produced here. A single wall, the cell wall, that encloses many number of nuclei. It means the nuclei are scattered inside the protoplasm without being separated by the cross wall or the cell wall. So such a condition is said to be siphonaceous form. So whereas in parenchymatous form, it is produced by the repeated division of the unicells. It means the single cells, they divide repeatedly in many planes, okay, in horizontal planes or in vertical planes, transverse division or vertical division that is observed. So in many planes, are in more than one plane. Just what I mean to say is, in more than one plane, the cells will divide and that will form the parenchymatous form, just like a leafy outgrowth or a leaf-like thallus that can be seen. So such thallus is said to be parenchymatous thallus. Okay. So let us look into the one by one with the example. So the first one is unicellular forms. See, unicellular forms, as I said, the cells are independent and individual here. So only one cell that represents the organism. Okay. So these unicellular forms, they may be motile or non-motile. Some of the unicells are motile. I am not going in depth, okay, because I am going in a brief introduction about the thallus of algae, thallus organization in algae. Okay, so it is not in depth even in your syllabus also, but it is useful. It is additional information. Some of the additional informations I am giving, it will be definitely, it will be useful for you people. Okay, so the unicellular forms, they may be motile or they may be non-motile. Okay, so the motile forms, the unicellular forms, where they show they possess flagella. So like the unicells of Chlamydomonas. So where they possess flagella. Okay, so where the locomotory structures are nothing but the flagella here. So they are motile, unicellular motile forms. Unicellular motile forms, example Chlamydomonas. Chlamydomonas. Okay, so then unicellular non-motile forms. Unicellular non-motile forms. So here the algae, they are non-motile. Unicellular non-motile forms where the algae is non-motile. The cells are single and they are non-motile. Example, unicellular non-motile forms. These are non-motile forms. Example, chlorella. Chlorella. Okay, so where these algal cells are non-motile. Okay, so example, chlorella. And even some other unicellular forms like rhizopodial unicells also seen. Rhizopodial unicells. See, rhizopodial unicells means where the cells, they do not definitely surrounded by the cell wall, but they can show a protoplasmic extension. Just they show amoeboid movement, just like amoeba. So that they are not definitely surrounded by the cell wall. So such cells are said to be rhizopodial unicells. Okay, but majorly the unicellular forms are of two kinds. One is motile, another one is non-motile forms. So whereas motile forms, they possess flagella for their motility, whereas non-motile forms, they do not possess flagella. And on the other hand, the rhizopodial forms, so where they lack the cell wall, the cells will lack the cell wall. So instead, they show amoeboid movement. So that's why they are said to be rhizopodial unicells. Okay, so this is about the unicellular forms. So then let us look into the filamentous forms of algae. So as I said, so before that, the colonial forms of algae. Okay, see, colonial organization of thallus, that can be produced by the aggregation of the cells. Colonial organization is produced by the aggregation of cells. See, many unicells, they aggregated together, they combine together, forming a colony. Okay, that is, colony means group. Okay, the cells are, unicells are living in a group. Okay, without that much of coordination, but even though they are in colony, they are working independently. Okay, they are independent of each other, though they are found in the colony. So colony here, they are just like a group. It is nothing but the group. Many unicells, they aggregated together, forming the colony. So I said colonial organization, it may be temporary, say, or it may be a permanent colony can be seen. Okay. So for example, the permanent colony, what is called as cenobium. Cenobium. See, this is a permanent colonial organization that can be seen in colonial organization. See, what is cenobium or cenobia here? So these kinds of questions will be asked in your NEET or CET or in anywhere in competitive examination. Okay, so you just remember cenobia. Okay. See, Cenobium is nothing but this is a colony with a definite shape, and definite structure. It is possessing a definite structure. The colony possessing definite structure, and where we can see definite arrangement of cells can be seen. Definite arrangement of cells. The colony with the definite number of definite shape and definite structure and definite arrangement, and also even with the definite number of cells in the colony. Okay. So where the colony with a definite shape, it means it is having a definite shape. Then it is having a definite structure. It means a colony that possesses a structure, a particular structure. So then we can see definite arrangement of cells, a pattern of cells, arrangement of cells that can be seen in this colony. Okay. So such a colony is said to be Cenobium, and also the number of cells in a colony, it is determined or it is definite. Such a colony is said to be Cenobium or Cenobia. Okay. So this kind of colony that can be seen in the algae, like, and I'm telling the motile cenobial colony. Okay, the motile cenobial colony. So for example, it can be seen in algae like Volvox. So Volvox, it is a motile cenobial algae, Volvox. Okay, so where, and also Pandorina. Okay, so this is also motile. Then Eudorina. So these are motile cenobial algae. Okay, so where the cells are motile here, and the cells are arranged in a definite shape, structure, there will be definite size for the colony. So shape, structure, and also the size of the colony, and also the number of cells in the colony. Okay, so where entire thing is definite here, such colony is said to be Cenobium. The motile cenobial colony, motile. Okay, so where Volvox, example Pandorina and Eudorina, so they are the example for motile cenobial colony. And non-motile cenobial colony that can be seen in, I think you know, came to know what is Cenobium. Okay, a colony of algae that is having a definite shape, definite structure, and definite arrangement of cells, and with a definite number of cells, it is called as Cenobium. Okay, so motile Cenobium is Volvox, Pandorina, and Eudorina, whereas the non-motile cenobial colony, so Hydrodictyon. So this is an example, an algae, a green algae, an example for a non-motile cenobial colony. Okay, so then the other colonial organization, as I said, the temporary association called as palmelloid colony. Okay, so this is not here. The palmelloid colony where it do not show, just like Cenobia, it do not show definite arrangement of cells or definite shape or definite size for a colony, or even the definite number of cells. So not such things are present in this colony. No such things can be seen in this colony. That is what is called as palmelloid colony. It is not like Cenobia. So whereas in Cenobia the entire thing is definite, but whereas in palmelloid colony the number of cells, the size of the colony, and the shape of the colony, the structure of the colony is not definite. And even it may be temporary, or it may be sometimes it is permanent also. The permanent association also can be seen. So for example, where we can see Chlamydomonas. In Chlamydomonas, where we can see the temporary formation of the colony, palmelloid colony. So whereas in forms like Chlamydomonas. Okay, so that is about the palmelloid colony. Okay, so then let us move into the next type of thallus structure in algae. Okay, so that is the filamentous forms. Okay, filamentous forms. So you know what are filamentous here? So filamentous, it is just like a thread, isn't it? So that is what is called as a filament. So I said filamentous colony is produced by the repeated transverse division of the cell. Okay, the repeated transverse division of the cell that leads to the formation of a filament. Okay, see here the filament may be branched or unbranched. So how cells are present in a filament like this? The filament, just see like this. Sometimes, as I said, the algae they found get attaches to the substratum by means of structure, that is what is called as hold fast, isn't it? So like this, the filament, the cells are arranged one above the other, and they are produced by the repeated transverse division of the cells. A long chain like a thread like structure is produced, that is what is called as a filament. Okay, so this is a filamentous algae. Okay, so where the cells are arranged one above the other and they are produced by the transverse division of the cells, and sometimes they may get attaches to the substratum by means of a structure, that is what is called as the hold fast. that is called as hold fast. With the help of the hold fast, the filament can get attaches to the substratum. Okay. So whereas the filamentous forms, it may be the branched filaments or unbranched filaments. Okay. So sometimes the filaments may be unbranched. We cannot see the branches in them. Okay. So where, for example, the unbranched filaments can be seen in Edogonium, the algae like Edogonium, a green algae like Edogonium, and also in Eulothrix. So where the filament is unbranched, and even in Spirogyra. Okay, so the filaments are unbranched. So whereas the branches can be seen in the filament, sometimes the branches may be the true branches or it may be the false branches. So there are the branching filaments can be seen like heterotrichous branches, heterotrichous filament or heterotrichous branching is seen. What is this heterotrichous branching means? Nodi, filament branches ಆಗಿದ್ದಾಗ one branch is horizontal, another branch is erect. It means one is a prostrate branch. Prostrate means so where the filament or the branch that creeps on the surface. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾವ ಸರ್ಫೇಸ್ ಗೆ ಅಟ್ಯಾಚ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ಆ ಸರ್ಫೇಸ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಕ್ರೀಪಿಂಗ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ತೆವಳೋ ತರ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಅಟ್ಯಾಚ್ ಹಾರಿಜಾಂಟಲಿ ಫಿಕ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಅದನ್ನ ಪ್ರಾಸ್ಟ್ರೇಟ್ ಬ್ರಾಂಚ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಎರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಬ್ರಾಂಚಸ್ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಸೊ ಆ ಪ್ರಾಸ್ಟ್ರೇಟ್ ಬ್ರಾಂಚ್ ಇಂದ ಬಂದಿರೋಂಥ ಬ್ರಾಂಚ್ ನ ಎರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಬ್ರಾಂಚ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ದ ಬ್ರಾಂಚ್ ದಟ್ ಗೆಟ್ ಅರೈಸಸ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದ ಹಾರಿಜಾಂಟಲ್ ಬ್ರಾಂಚ್ ಇಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಎ ಎರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಬ್ರಾಂಚ್. ಸೊ such type of filament that can be seen in algae like Ectocarpus. See, this is a brown algae. So where in Ectocarpus we can see both the kinds of branches. Andre filament branch agide, ಎರಡು ತರ ಬ್ರಾಂಚಿಂಗ್ ಇದೆ. One is a prostrate, andre horizontal agiro branch undu. Another one is a erect branch. So such a kind of branching is said to be heterotrichous branching. Hetero means different. Two different branches can be seen, prostrate branches as well as the erect branches. So I said filamentous forms may be branched or unbranched. Okay. So unbranched example is the Eulothrix, Edogonium and Spirogyra. So whereas the filamentous branching, heterotrichous, especially the true branching ones, are said to be Ectocarpus. So sometimes we can see false branching also. Andre false branching antandre exact agi branch initials bardene, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಬ್ರಾಂಚಿಂಗ್ ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಆಗಕ್ಕೆ ಒಂದು ಲ್ಯಾಟ್ರಲ್ ಔಟ್ ಗ್ರೋತ್ ಅಂತ ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಈಗ ಆಲ್ಗೆ ಫಿಲಮೆಂಟ್ ಈ ತರ ಇದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇದರಿಂದ ಒಂದು ಲ್ಯಾಟ್ರಲ್ ಔಟ್ ಗ್ರೋತ್ ಬಂದು ಇದರಿಂದ ಬ್ರಾಂಚ್ ಬಂದ್ರೆ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಸೆಡ್ ಟು ಬಿ ಟ್ರೂ ಬ್ರಾಂಚ್. ಇದು ಟ್ರೂ ಬ್ರಾಂಚ್ ಅಂತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಏನು ಇಲ್ಲ, ಬ್ರಾಂಚಿಂಗ್ ಔಟ್ ಗ್ರೋತ್ ಬಂದಿಲ್ಲ, ಲ್ಯಾಟ್ರಲ್ ಔಟ್ ಗ್ರೋತ್ ಬಂದಿಲ್ಲ, ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಏನಾಗಿದೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸಪೋಸ್ ಈಗ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ಫಿಲಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರೋಂಥ ಸೆಲ್ಸ್ ಡೆತ್ ಆಯ್ತು, ಈ ಸೆಲ್ಸ್ ಡೆತ್ ಆಗಿ ಡಿಕೆ ಆಯ್ತು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲೇನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ವೇರ್ ದ ಬ್ರಾಂಚ್ ವಿಲ್ ಡೆವಲಪ್, ಅಲ್ಲೇನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಬ್ರಾಂಚಿಂಗ್ ಡೆವಲಪ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಈ ಸೆಲ್ಸ್ ಡೆಡ್ ಆಗಿ ಹಂಗೆ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ದಿಸ್ ಸೆಲ್ ವಿಲ್ ರಿಮೈನ್ ಡೆಡ್. ಅಂತ ಬ್ರಾಂಚ್ ಅನ್ನು ನಾವು ಸೂಡೋ ಬ್ರಾಂಚಿಂಗ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಬಿ ಸೀನ್ ಇನ್ ಎ ಸೈನೋಬ್ಯಾಕ್ಟೀರಿಯಾ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ Cytonema. The pseudo branching can be seen in a cyanobacteria or a blue-green algae, what is called as Cytonema. Okay. So this is about the filamentous form. Then the next one is siphonaceous forms. Okay, siphonaceous forms. Siphonaceous forms can be seen. So as I said, in siphonaceous forms, the nuclei will divide, but not followed by the formation of cross wall or the cell wall. Andre nucleus matra division agutte. The repeated nuclear division that results in the formation of many number of nuclei found inside a single cell wall or found enclosed in a cell wall, not get separated by the formation of cell wall. Such a type of thallus is what is called as siphonaceous form. So just like this, so where many number of nuclei which are found associated inside like Botryddium and Vaucheria. So whereas many number of nuclei can be seen here, so just like cenocytic. Okay, so you know what is cenocytic hyphen. So many number of nuclei which are found inside are surrounded by a single cell wall, not being separated by this formation of cross wall. ಈಗ ಮಧ್ಯ ಕ್ರಾಸ್ ವಾಲ್ ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಆದ್ರೆ ಒಂದೊಂದು ಇಂಡಿವಿಜುವಲ್ ಸೆಲ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕ್ರಾಸ್ ವಾಲ್ಸ್ ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ, ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ದ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯೈ ರಿಪೀಟೆಡ್ ಆಗಿ ಡಿವಿಷನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಎಲ್ಲಾ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯೈ ಒಂದೇ ಇದರಲ್ಲೇ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಸಚ್ ಎ ಕೈಂಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಥ್ಯಾಲಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಸೆಡ್ ಟು ಬಿ ಸೈಫೋನೇಷಿಯಸ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ಸ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಮೆನಿ ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಡಿವಿಷನ್ ನಾಟ್ ಫಾಲೋಡ್ ಬೈ ದ ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಕ್ರಾಸ್ ವಾಲ್ ಆರ್ ದ ಸೆಲ್ ವಾಲ್, so that results in the formation of a siphonaceous nature. So where the examples like Vaucheria, then Botredium, okay, Botredium and Vaucheria. So they are the examples for siphonaceous forms. Okay. So lastly, the parenchymatous forms. So this is slightly a kind of advanced thallus organization that can be seen in higher algae. So like Sargassum or Fucus or Dictyota. So in these members where we can see such kind of thallus organization. So that is what is called as parenchymatous thallus. Parenchymatous thallus. Parenchymatous. See, in parenchymatous form, as I said, the cells divide repeatedly in two or more plane. Okay, in two or more plane, the cells will divide repeatedly. So where that forms just like a parenchymatous tissue. ಈಗ ನೀವು higher plants ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಬಹುದು, angiosperms ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿದಾಗ ನೀವು ಅಥವಾ any in higher plants like parenchyma tissue ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ ನಾವು. parenchyma tissue ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? Where all cells are identical, all cells are parenchyma, ಎಲ್ಲ ಒಂದೇ ತರ cells ಇರುತ್ತೆ. Okay. So ಅದನ್ನ ನಾವು parenchymatous tissue ಅಂತೀವಿ. Similarly here also the cells divide in two or more plane. ಒಂದು ಅಥವಾ ಎರಡಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ plane ಅಲ್ಲಿ divide ಆದಾಗ, so it forms a compact structure. That is what is called as a parenchymatous. It may be, as I said, it may be leaf-like in Dictyota. So it may be leaf-like. ಈ ತರ leaf ತರ structure formation ಆಗ್ಬೋದು. ಅಥವಾ larger thallus that can be seen like in Sargassum or Laminaria or Fucus or Dictyota. So where such kind of thallus is said to be parenchymatous thallus. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸೆಲ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಅಗ್ರಿಗೇಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಅಗ್ರಿಗೇಟ್ ಆಗಿ ರಿಪೀಟೆಡ್ ಡಿವಿಷನ್ ಆಗಿ ಸೆಲ್ ಡಿವಿಷನ್ ಆದಮೇಲೆ ದ ಸೆಲ್ಸ್ ವೋಂಟ್ ಗೆಟ್ ಸಪರೇಟ್, ಸೆಲ್ಸ್ ಸಪರೇಷನ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ, ದೇ ರಿಮೈನ್ ಟುಗೆದರ್, ದೇ ರಿಮೈನ್ ಇಂಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಸಪರೇಷನ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಸಚ್ ಎ ಥಾಲಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಸೆಡ್ ಟು ಬಿ parenchymatous thallus. Okay, so examples like Dictyota, the higher algae, Dictyota, then Sargassum, then Laminaria, Fucus, etc. Okay, so Dictyota, Sargassum, Laminaria, Fucus, etc. So they are the example for parenchymatous form. So I said, the cells divide repeatedly in many planes, okay, or two or more planes, where cell division is not followed by the separation of the cells. Cells ಏನಾಗಲ್ಲ ಇಲ್ಲಿ separation ಆಗಲ್ಲ. So ಈ ತರ cells ಏನಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಇಂಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಉಳ್ಕೊಂಡಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಮೇ ಲುಕ್ ಲೀಫಿ ಅಪಿಯರೆನ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು ಅಥವಾ ಟ್ಯೂಬುಲಾರ್ ಅಪಿಯರೆನ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ವೇರಿಯಸ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ಬೋದು ಅಪಿಯರೆನ್ಸ್. ಅದನ್ನು ನಾವೇನಂತೀವಿ parenchymatous thallus ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ about the thallus organization in algae, that is ranging from that is starting from the unicellular form to colonial form, colonial to filamentous, then siphonaceous forms, then about the parenchymatous forms. Okay, so I have explained with the example, so hope you have understand that. Okay, so where unicellular, adralli motile and non-motile unicells can be seen. Okay, so then in case of colonial form, coenobial colony and palmelloid colony, I said the differences between them. Coenobia having definite arrangement, whereas in palmelloid there is no definite arrangement, no definite shape and no definite structure. That is what is called palmelloid. So whereas the filamentous form, filaments may be branched or they may be unbranched. Okay, so whereas siphonaceous, nuclear division not followed by the formation of cell wall, hence many number of nuclei remain together or surrounded by a common cell wall. So that is siphonaceous form. So whereas the parenchymatous form, the cell divide repeatedly in two or more plane and cells are not get separated, they remain intact. So that leads to the formation of a parenchymatous thallus. It may be tubular or it may be leaf-like. Okay, so that is about the thallus organization in algae. Okay, so next we shall move on to the cell structure of algae. Cell structure of algae. Okay, see, algae, you know that they are eukaryotic organisms. Okay, so no doubt all membrane bounded cell organelles are present. So like Golgi body, endoplasmic reticulum, membrane bounded nucleus, then vacuole. Vacuoles are bounded or covered by a membrane, that is what is called as a tonoplast. I said what is a tonoplast? That is nothing but the membrane of a vacuole. So then chloroplast, mitochondria, all membrane bounded cell organelles can be seen. Okay, so just like other eukaryotic cells. So and whereas the cells get separated by the cell wall, so cell wall that is mainly made up of cellulose, as they belongs to the kingdom Plantae, cell wall is mainly composed of cellulose. Okay, so just like the other eukaryotic cells, okay, so they also have the similar structures like eukaryotic cells, and also they possess the protoplasm. Okay, see, I'm going to discuss about some major concepts in the structure of the cell. So it is same, as I said, no, it is same to other eukaryotic cell possessing all membrane bonded cell organelle, Golgi body, endoplasmic reticulum, mitochondria, then membrane bonded nucleus, then chloroplast. So all structures are present, they are same. Okay, see the algal cells. Okay, so where the photosynthetic pigments, where they are located inside the plastids. So as they are eukaryotes, where the pigments are located inside the plastids. So, but you remember the cyanobacteria, blue-green algae. So, where they are prokaryotic in nature, where the pigments are not seen in plastid, isn't it? So, where the peripheral region of the protoplasm, that is what is called chromoplasm. So, where the pigments are distributed. But that is not the case here. In case of algae, as they are eukaryotic forms, so where the pigments are associated within the plastid. Okay. So, there are two kinds of plastids can be seen. One is a leucoplast. So leucoplast, remember, these are colorless plastid. They do not show any specific color. Okay, leucoplast. Another one is chromoplast. Another one is chromoplast. Leucoplast and the chromoplast. Chromoplast are the colored plastids. Okay, so again we can say two kinds here. One is chloroplast. Chloroplast. Another one is chromatophores. You just remember. Chromatophore. Chloroplast and the chromatophore. Chloroplast is nothing but normal plastid that possessing both chlorophyll A and chlorophyll B pigments. It possesses both chlorophyll A and chlorophyll B. Whereas a chromatophore that that lacks chlorophyll B. Here chlorophyll B is absent. Okay. So that is what is called as a chromatophore. So where there are two chromoplasts are of two kinds. One is chloroplast, another one is chromatophore. So where chloroplast is of A and B, it possesses both chlorophyll A and chlorophyll B, along with the other pigments like carotenoids, xanthophylls, okay, phycobilins, phycocyanin and phycoerythrin, all those pigments. Okay, carotenoids irutte, xanthophylls, carotino, plus adr jotege phycobilins irutte, phycobilins anta bandaga phycoerythrin matte phycocyanin andre red blue colored pigment, okay, orange yellow colored pigment irutte, carotene matte xanthophylls. So along with the other pigments. But major agi chlorophyll A, B ಎರಡು ಇದ್ದಾಗ chloroplast ಅಂತೀವಿ, B ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ನಾವೇನಂತೀವಿ chromatophore ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಪ್ಲಾಸ್ಟಿಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎರಡು ತರ ಹೇಳಿದೆ, ಒಂದು leucoplast ಇನ್ನೊಂದು chromoplast. Leuco ಅಂದ್ರೆ they are colorless plastids, whereas chromoplast are the colored plastids. Okay, so why I am stressing about chloroplast? It means the plastids in algae. So whereas the chloroplast or even it may be the chromatophore, that is in various form or various shape in algae. Okay, so chloroplast can occur in various shape in algae. So where it may be cup-like. You can see cup-like chloroplast. Cup-like. So, for example, as I said, in case of Chlamydomonas, so where it possesses the two flagella in Chlamydomonas, so where we can see a cup-like chloroplast. Chloroplast antanu heltare, ಕೆಲವು ಕಡೆ chromatophore antanu heltare. Chromatophore is of various shape anta. So that almost occupy majority of the size of the cell, isn't it? So here the chloroplast is cup-like. Okay, so cup-like chloroplast can be seen in Chlamydomonas. Okay, so or it may be reticulate type. The chloroplast may be reticulate. It may be reticulate type. Reticulate means it is just like network. So whereas in case of Edogonium, so where we can see network-like or mesh-like chloroplast that can be seen. So it is just like network or a mesh-like structure. So that is what is called as the reticulate type of chloroplast. Or it may be spiral. Chloroplast may be spiral. Okay, so for example, in case of the Spirogyra, so where the cells are elongated rectangular in nature, so we will study this even in your practical syllabus also. In case of Spirogyra, so where you can see the spiral shaped chloroplast that can be seen. So where the chloroplast is spirally arranged. By this it is named, the algae is named as Spirogyra. Okay, that is because of the presence of spiral shaped chloroplast. Or ಕೆಲವು ಕಡೆ ಹೇಳಿದಲ್ಲ chromoplast ಅಂತಾನೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. Okay, so like this. So this, based on this, if you just look into this algae under the microscope, you will just observe this one, the spirally formed, spiral shaped chloroplast. Okay, so that's why the algae is named as Spirogyra. Spirogyra. Okay, so then the chloroplast, it may be stellate. Stellate ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ star like chloroplast ನೋಡ್ತೀವಿ ನಾವು. It may be stellate. Stellate means star like chloroplast. Stellate chloroplast. Okay, star-like. The chloroplast is like this. So that is in Zygnema, an algae called as Zygnema. So where we can see stellate or star-like chloroplast. Or sometimes it may be girdle-like, that is in Edogonium. Okay. So disc shaped, normal disc shaped chloroplast is also seen in algae. So these are some different kinds of chloroplast, like cup like, reticulate ಅಂದ್ರೆ mesh ತರ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, then spiral, so whereas then stellate, then zygnema. Okay, so in zygnema it is stellate, means star like chloroplast is stellate ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. Okay, so these are the different forms of the chromatophores and the chloroplast in algae. Okay, so besides this, the chloroplast or especially the chromatophores of algae, many algae, they possess, you remember this structure, this is very important, they possess a structure what is called as pyrenoid. They possess a structure what is regarded as pyrenoid. Remember this, a pyrenoid is a proteinaceous body. A pyrenoid is a proteinaceous body covered by a starch sheath. Pyrenoid is a proteinaceous body that is covered by a starch sheath. Okay, the proteinaceous structures which are found within the chromoplast of algae, and those structures are what is called as pyrenoid. A proteinaceous structure ಅಂದ್ರೆ proteins ಇಂದ ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ, ಆ proteinaceous structure ಗೆ ನಾವೇನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ, pyrenoid ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. Usually in chromoplast they are present. Okay, chromatophores they are present. So whereas, and even in chloroplast also, so pyrenoids are nothing but the proteinaceous bodies which are covered by a starch sheath. The major function of the pyrenoid is the synthesis. It is related with the synthesis and storage of the starch. It is related with the synthesis and storage of the starch. Okay, synthesis and storage of the starch, that can be seen, that is a function of the pyrenoid. Okay, not all the chloroplast of algae that is possessing pyrenoid, but majority of the algae that possess the pyrenoid. Okay, so where the proteinaceous structure concerned with the synthesis and storage of starch. Okay, so that is nothing but the pyrenoid. So then, so you know that the algal cells, they possess flagella, isn't it? So flagella, it is of typical eukaryotic type. So that is 9+2 arrangement. So see, ಈ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ನಿಮಗೆ ಅಪ್ಕಮಿಂಗ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತೀನಿ. ಯೂಕ್ಯಾರಿಯೋಟಿಕ್ ಫ್ಲಾಜೆಲ್ಲಾ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು, ಯಾವ ತರ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅದೆಲ್ಲ. ಜಸ್ಟ್ ರಿಮೆಂಬರ್, they possess flagella. It is of typical eukaryotic type of flagella with the 9+2 arrangement. So ಅದೇನು ಅಂತ next upcoming classes ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ. Okay, so really flagella are of two kinds. Okay, so one is whiplash flagella, another one is tinsel type. Whiplash flagella and tinsel type of flagella, two kinds of flagella can be seen. ಎರಡು ತರ flagella ನೋಡಬಹುದು ನಾವಿಲ್ಲಿ. See, whiplash ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಏನಿಲ್ಲ, the flagella is, its surface is simple and smooth. Flagella surface simple ಆಗಿ ಸ್ಮೂತ್ ಆಗಿದ್ರೆ ಅದನ್ನ whiplash ಅಂತ ಕರೀತೀವಿ. Okay, whereas tinsel type ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು, whereas in tinsel type where the flagella, the surface of the flagella that bears very minute, very small or minute hair-like structures. The flagella that bear very minute and small hair-like structure, that kind of flagella is what is called tinsel type. Adana tinsel type anta kariti. Whiplash means the flagella, the surface of the flagella, it is smooth. Okay. So whereas tinsel means the surface of the flagella that consists of very small, minute hair-like structures. So that is what is called as tinsel type. Okay. So this is about the flagella in algae. So then we discussed about the occurrence, then thallus organization, then cell structure of algae, then about the plastids in algae. Okay. So the next thing is about the reproduction in algae. How algae reproduce? Reproduction in algae. Reproduction. So this is the general aspect. Okay. So that is about the reproduction. So algae, they reproduce mainly by vegetative method, then asexual method and sexual method. Vegetative reproduction, asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction. Three kinds of reproduction can be seen. The vegetative method of reproduction, that takes place by means of fission. I said about the fission, isn't it? So that is nothing but the division. Fission means the cell divides and separates into two daughter cells. Fission. And it also takes place by means of fragmentation. For example, in case of filamentous form, where we can see fragmentation. Okay, we can see fragmentation in filamentous form. There may be fragmentation. Or in some of the higher forms, we can also see budding. Some small outgrowths will be produced. ಚಿಕ್ಕದಾಗಿ ಒಂದು outgrowth formation ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, bud ಅಂತ. if that bud gets separated, a bud separate adaginate, that can grow into a new algal thallus. So that can be seen in higher algae, budding. Okay. So fission or fragmentation or even budding. So these are some of the way of methods of vegetative reproduction in algae. Okay. Fragmentation andre if the fragments get separated in cyanobacteria dalli helide harmogonia anta, isn't it? So where the fragments are known as harmogonia. So likewise here also, the filament that breaks into fragments, each fragment that can grow into a new filament, okay, or new algal thallus. So these are some common methods of vegetative reproduction in algae. So whereas the asexual method of reproduction, that mainly takes place by the formation of spores. Okay, so by producing the spores, they reproduce asexually. Okay, so the spores can be seen here, the asexual spores, asexual method of reproduction that takes place by the formation of spores. So the spores like zoospores, then aplanospores, and hypnospores. There are various kinds of spores can be seen here, but majorly there are three. One is zoospore, another one is aplanospore, another one is hypnospores. See, zoospores are nothing but they are the biflagellated motile spores, like this. They possess two flagella. Zoospores are biflagellated motile spores. So zoospores are motile. You remember, zoospores are motile. Okay, they are biflagellated motile spores. Whereas aplanospores, these are non-motile spores. Aplanospores are non-motile. So the spores are produced, but these spores are non-motile. Non-motile spores are aplanospores. Okay. So whereas on the other hand, hypnospores. See, hypnospores are nothing but they are basically the aplanospores, but they get surrounded by thick walls. These aplanospores get surrounded by thick walls, and usually they are produced during, they can resist the drought. Okay, they can resist the drought. They are produced during unfavorable conditions. Okay, so those spores are said to be hypnospores. Basically they are aplanospores, but these, you know what is aplano? So where the spores are non-motile. So where the spore gets surrounded by a thick wall, it secretes a thick wall around it. Such thick wall resistant spores are called as hypnospores. So these are the major kind of spores which are produced in algae. So while they are reproducing asexually, so like zoospores, aplanospores and hypnospores. So you remember, zoospores are motile and biflagellated, whereas aplanospores are non-motile spores. Whereas hypnospores, they are also non-motile, they are just like aplanospores, but they secretes a thick wall around it, so it can resist the drought or any kind of unfavorable conditions. So that is, those spores are regarded as hypnospores. Okay, so this is about the asexual reproduction in algae. It means, you know, that where there is no formation and fusion of gametes. Okay, so that is what is called as asexual reproduction. So many algae like Chlamydomonas, Ulothrix and Oedogonium, so they possess the zoospores. Okay, so some forms they also possess the, especially the freshwater forms, they possess the hypnospores, like that. So the major thing here is about the sexual reproduction in algae. Sexual reproduction in algae. So this is a major thing here. See, algae, they reproduce sexually by means of various ways, like autogamy. You remember these terms, they are very important. Autogamy, then hologamy, then isogamy, then anisogamy, and oogamy. So there are different kinds of sexual reproduction is seen in algae. Different kinds means, no doubt, sexual reproduction that involves the fusion of gametes, isn't it? But there are different ways of sexual reproduction can be seen in algae. Autogamy, hologamy, isogamy, anisogamy and oogamy. See the first one, auto. Auto means self, no? Here auto means self. What it means? A kind of sexual reproduction that involves the fusion of gametes coming from the same mother cell. Kind of reproduction that involves the fusion of gametes. For example, if this is a mother cell, this is going to produce a gametes, isn't it? You remember, this is going to produce a gamete. Both of the gametes, they are coming from the same cell. Both of the gametes are coming from the same cell. Such a kind of sexual reproduction is what is called autogamy. Auto means self. Okay. So what is autogamy here? Autogamy means a kind of sexual reproduction involves a fusion of gametes coming from the same mother cell. ಒಂದೇ ಸೆಲ್ ಇಂದ ಬಂದಿರೋ ಅಂತ ಗ್ಯಾಮೆಟ್ಸ್ ಫ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಆದ್ರೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಆಟೋಗ್ಯಾಮಿ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಆಟೋ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಸೆಲ್ಫ್. Okay. So where the single mother cell that leads to the formation of the gametes, and these two gametes they fuse together. ಇವೆರಡೇ ಗ್ಯಾಮೆಟ್ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, they fuse together forming a diploid structure. That is nothing but the zygote. Okay. ಇವೆರಡು ಫ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಆಗಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಒಂದು zygote formation ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಏನಂತೀವಿ, ಆಟೋಗ್ಯಾಮಿ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. Okay. So then hologamy. See here, holo means complete. Holo means complete. See, the cells itself means the vegetative cells itself they behaves as gametes. ಇಲ್ಲೇನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಸೆಲ್ಲೇನೆ ನಾಟ್ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸಿಂಗ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸ್ಪೆಷಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಗ್ಯಾಮೀಟ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಏನು ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ. ದ ಸೆಲ್ಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಸೆಲ್ಫ್ ಬಿಹೇವ್ಸ್ as gametes. The vegetative cells they themselves they behaves as gamete. They fuse together. ಇವೆರಡು ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಫ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಫ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಆಗಿ where there will be formation of a zygote. So that is diploid structure is produced. 2n means diploid structure is produced. Where cells itself they can act as gamete. They will fuse together and forming the diploid structure. Cells gametes ತರ act ಮಾಡಿ, for example like they can behave as plus and minus. And then just like male and female strains, plus and minus strains. Okay, so they fuse together and they forms the gametes. So they form the zygote or the diploid structure. So for example like in Chlamydomonas. So where the cells can act as gametes. So that is what is called as holo. Holo means the entire cell that can act as a gamete or get converted into a gamete. That is what is called as a hologamy. Okay, you make out the differences between these. Okay. So then the next thing is isogamy. Remember these are very important terms here. Isogamy. See, iso means similar, isn't it? Iso means similar. See, isogamy, it is a kind of sexual reproduction where it involves the formation of gametes which are morphologically and physiologically the gametes are similar. Morphologically and physiologically the gametes are similar. Okay, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಗ್ಯಾಮೆಟ್ಸ್ ನೋಡೋದಕ್ಕೂ ಮತ್ತೆ ಅವುಗಳ ಬಿಹೇವಿಯರು ಎರಡೂ ಏನಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಒಂದೇ ತರ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಎಕ್ಸಾಕ್ಟ್ಲಿ ದ ಗ್ಯಾಮೆಟ್ಸ್ ವಿಚ್ ರಿಸೆಂಬಲ್ ಈಚ್ ಅದರ್. Such a kind of sexual reproduction is what is called as isogamy or isogamous reproduction. And such types of gametes are called as isogametes. ಅವನೇನಂತೀವಿ ನಾವು, isogametes ಅಂತೀವಿ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನಂತ, the gametes which are morphologically as well as physiologically they are similar. ಮಾರ್ಫಾಲಜಿಕಲಿ ಮತ್ತೆ ಫಿಸಿಯಾಲಜಿಕಲಿ ಎರಡೂ ಗ್ಯಾಮೆಟ್ಸ್ ಏನಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಸಿಮಿಲರ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನೋಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಅವುಗಳ ಬಿಹೇವಿಯರ್ ಎರಡೂ ಏನಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಸೇಮ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸಚ್ ಗ್ಯಾಮೆಟ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಸೆಡ್ ಟು ಬಿ ಐಸೋಗ್ಯಾಮೀಟ್ಸ್. ಅಂತ ಗ್ಯಾಮೆಟ್ಸ್ ಏನಂತೀವಿ ನಾವು, ಐಸೋಗ್ಯಾಮೀಟ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಅಂಡ್ ದ ಮೋಡ್ ಆಫ್ ರೀಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಇಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ನೋನ್ ಆಸ್ ಐಸೋಗ್ಯಾಮಸ್ ಆರ್ ಐಸೋಗ್ಯಾಮಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ that is the thing, that is about isogamy. So where the gametes which are similar morphologically as well as physiologically. Okay, so then the next one is, so that can be even seen in Chlamydomonas and like other green algae. Okay, then the next thing is anisogamy. So anisogamy, so where as the name itself indicate, ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಮತ್ತೆ ನಾವು physiological anisogamy ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು. ಅಂದ್ರೆ morphologically the gametes are similar but their behavior, physiological behavior is different. One can act as plus, means male and female, just like plus and minus. Okay, ಅದನ್ನ physiological anisogamy ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. Not morphological, that is physiological anisogamy. ಅಂದ್ರೆ morphologically the gametes are similar, ನೋಡೋಕೆ ಒಂದೇ ತರ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, but their behavior, physiological behavior is different, like plus and minus strains ಅಂತ ಐಡೆಂಟಿಫೈ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. Okay, so that is what is called as physiological anisogamy. But the next thing is anisogamy. Anisogamy means, see here, this is a kind of sexual reproduction where gametes are dissimilar. You just remember, gametes are dissimilar. Dissimilar gametes can be seen here. Okay, see, dissimilar gametes antandre one gamete will be larger in size. One of the gamete that will be larger in size. Okay, so one is larger in size, one gamete, and whereas the other gamete is smaller in size. Okay, so the larger gamete is what is usually regarded as the female gamete. Okay, the larger one is regarded as a female gamete. So this is a female gamete, and whereas the smaller and the more active one is regarded as a male gamete. Aniso means gametes are dissimilar here, both morphologically as well as physiologically. The gametes are dissimilar. So one will be larger in size, comparatively larger in size, and another one will be smaller in size. So both are motile. So the smaller gamete will be more active. It means the male gamete will be more active when compared to the female gamete. Okay, so that is what is called as anisogamy. Dissimilar gametes can be seen, both morphologically as well as physiologically dissimilar. That is what is called as, such gametes are said to be anisogametes, and the mode of reproduction, the sexual reproduction, is what is called as anisogamous or anisogamy. Okay. Then the last one is what is called as oogamy. Oogamy means this is the highly advanced kind of sexual reproduction. This is the advanced kind of sexual reproduction. Advanced kind of sexual reproduction. See here, the male gametes are smaller and motile. Male gametes are smaller and motile, whereas the female gamete is larger and stationary. Do not move. Okay, the female gamete is larger and stationary. It means it doesn't move, whereas the male gametes are smaller and motile. The male gametes are smaller and motile, whereas in exception in case of rhodophycean members where male gametes are non-motile. In case of rhodophyceae, means red algae, they are non-motile, male gametes are. But in other algae, the male gametes are smaller and motile, whereas the female gamete is larger and stationary. It doesn't move. Such a kind of reproduction is what is called oogamous type of reproduction. Oogamous. Okay. So oogamous. See, if I write this symbol, this is male and this is a female. Okay, oogamous type of reproduction. This is a highly advanced type of sexual reproduction. And in all other plants as well as in animals also, we can see oogamous type of reproduction. Okay. So this is about the different kinds of reproduction in algae. Okay. Then after the reproduction, it means after the fertilization, that is after fusion of male and female gametes, you know that zygote is produced, isn't it? So zygote is produced by the fusion of male and female gamete. Okay, so usually both the male and female gametes, usually they are haploid in nature. It means with a single set of chromosome. Eradalu ondonde set chromosome irutte. So where that will result in the formation of a zygote. So zygote in these in algae or everywhere throughout the sexual reproduction, zygote is diploid in nature. Okay, so consists of two sets of chromosomes. So in algae, zygote undergone, in most of the members of algae, zygote undergone meiosis. Zygote undergone meiosis. It means there is a reductional cell division is observed in zygote. This zygote alli enagutte reductional cell division agutte, andre meiosis agutte in most of the algae. But in few algae, the zygote doesn't undergo meiosis. It simply develops into the next forms. It means it germinates the zygote that develops into the next forms. But in most of the algae, the zygote undergone meiosis and the reductional cell division agutte. Reductional cell division agi again it will produce as a haploid forms. Matte en barutte haploid forms formation agutte. Andre single set of chromosome iranta forms formation agutte. Haploid forms. But in some forms, zygote that directly that develops into the diploid form. ಕೆಲವೊಂದರಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತ್ರ diploid form ಆಗಿ develop ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. But majority algae zygote undergo meiosis and produces again the haploid forms. Okay, so this is the fate of zygote or the role in algae. Okay, so this is about the reproduction in algae. Remember another thing. Usually the algae they reproduce asexually in favorable conditions. When all conditions are favorable, they switch on to asexual mode of reproduction. When conditions are unfavorable, so they will reproduce sexually. Okay, so most of the algae they reproduce sexually in unfavorable conditions. So especially the freshwater algae, not the marine forms. But marine forms they have plenty of water. You know there is no chances of drought and nothing in marine forms. But especially in freshwater forms, so there will be a chances of drought like in lakes or rivers or pools or ditches where the water content that will be decreases in especially in summer season. No. So in such conditions, in unfavorable conditions, so where they switch on to sexual method of reproduction, when condition is favorable, plenty of water is available, so in such conditions, they will switch on to asexual method of reproduction. Okay, so this is about, it completes the general characters of algae. So in next class, I will summarize, it means which are the points to be written in the examination. So, and about the classification of the algae, or how many points to be written in the examination, it means to summarize general characters of algae, so that I am going to explain in the next class, and also about the classification of the algae. Okay, thank you.